evening. Hello, happy solstice. Okay, things are live. Good evening. My name's Ari, and I'm back for a gentle yoga practice. Ms. was advertising this as our Christmas practice, but I like to think of it as our solstice practice. We're on the second day, where we have the longest nights of the year and the shortest days. So without too many more words at the start, I'll invite you to begin the practice by lying down on your back. So you can lie down on your back with your feet on the mat and your knees bent, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. I'll just demonstrate and then I'll guide from a seated position myself. So something like this, if that feels okay, you can bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. If you find you need another position, you can do whatever makes you feel comfortable and begin to soften into the back side of your body. So whatever was just going on before you began your practice, mentally, physically, begin to let it soften towards the ground, which is now supporting you. You can begin to tune into the space that you're in. You can notice the sounds, if there are any sounds close by or far away. Perhaps noticing any smells. You're very welcome to close your eyes if they're not closed already, and maybe just behind the eyelids you can sense a subtle sensation of light. Perhaps take this moment to notice what your body is touching and what's touching your body. So you can sense into feeling the clothing that's on your skin, sensing the air of the room that you're in, its temperature, is it moving, is it still? And as well noticing the feeling of the surface that you're lying on. You can let your back soften a little bit more into the ground or the yoga mat or the blankets, wherever you happen to be lying. And with each moment, with each breath, let yourself give in a little bit more deeply, a little bit more completely into this space, into this moment in time. If you haven't done so already, begin to notice your breath. If it helps, you can connect to the sensation of rising and falling, of the hands that might be resting on your body. Or maybe you sense into the back side of the body, the way that the backs of the ribs create a tension with the ground behind you as they expand, and the way that tension releases as you exhale. Noticing these different ways that the boundaries of the body can give us feedback. And then in whichever way, wherever your focus happens to be, give all of your attention to your next 3 inhales and exhales. And as you continue to breathe here, notice the softness of your body. Notice how it's held within a container, within a structure of bones, of muscles, of skin. And how without any effort required by you, everything stays as one piece. You can allow yourself to soften into that container, maybe just 5% more. And as I've already brought into the attention, we're at the solstice days, the winter solstice days, where the darkest is its longest and deepest. So here, in connection with your own container, see if you can allow it to be filled by that quality of darkness, that quality of stillness and emptiness. And in this wintering, this dark time, there is the invitation to let go of parts of ourselves so that we may rest and hibernate in wait for the light which will come and bring new beginnings. But I invite for this practice that we take it a step further. Letting our individual selves die in the egoic sense, so that we may remember that we are part of a living system. Maybe you can already sense what that does in your body. A sense of letting the individual story be a little bit less important. Letting our individual selves die so that we may be in service to something greater. You may in this space feel a sense of magic, sensing that interconnectedness. It may be blissful. It may also bring up some pain or sadness. There's a lot that's experienced right now in various parts of the collective, and you may tune into that. You can just notice whatever's coming for you here. You don't need to linger on anything specific or label. Just see if you can allow yourself to tune into that connection of being a part of a greater whole. In this space, I invite that we dedicate our practice tonight to peace. Coming into this holiday season, there's a lot of dedication put towards celebration and gratitude. And as we plug into our connection with the collective web of life here in this moment, I want us to put our collective awareness and intention to send our wish for healing and peace far and wide. Wherever there is struggle, pain, war, tragedy, disagreement, confusion, or sadness, let there be peace. Allow your next inhale to be a little bit deeper, breathing all the way down into the feet. And maybe with an open mouth, release the exhale. Beginning to come back a little bit more to the self. One more deep inhale. And exhale. You can begin reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, so still lying on the back, reaching the arms upwards, and then extending your feet up towards the ceiling. So you're in sort of a dead bug position. Something like this. And intuitively, you might begin to find movements with your ankles and your wrists circling around. Maybe everything is circling in the same direction. Maybe things are moving circularly. I'm just getting a notification. Maybe this movement is involving also your elbows and your knees. You can even let this ripple down towards the shoulders and the hips. So just some sensation of softening, loosening, and exploring the joints of wrists, knees, hips, ankles, elbows, and shoulders. And then from here, you can begin to draw your knees into your chest and give them a hug. So maybe grabbing onto your wrists or grabbing onto your forearms. Let the knees melt heavily into the chest, into the belly. And then from here, let the next couple of breaths be directed towards the soft space at your lower back. Filling all the way to the edge of the body. Sensing into this boundary as the body meets the mat. And from here you can let go of the knees and move towards happy baby, grabbing onto the big toes or the outer edges of the feet. Letting your knees fall towards the armpits. Knees can melt towards the ground. Letting the back of the spine be long, the back of the neck be long. And you're welcome to stay here in stillness, or maybe find a very gentle and slow rocking back and forth. Noticing if here in the hips, you might be finding a little bit of crunchy spaces, some maybe sharp edges. So as we're thinking a little bit about the boundaries of the body, see if you can also get curious about the sensations here, mapping them as part of the territory and welcoming them as this landscape of your body. You can draw the knees back into the chest and begin rolling forward and back along the spine, massaging the back of the body. And after a few times, you can land up at a seated position at the top of your mat. You can take a cross-legged position, one shin in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. We can start by lifting the right arm up, extending, stretching the side of the body, side bending over to the side, trying to keep the sitting bone heavy grounded towards the ground. Next inhale can bring you up to center, and from here fold directly towards the front. Just softening the spine, softening the neck. Letting yourself melt to your full degree here. Inhale brings you back up to a seated position, and we can switch now opposite shin, opposite ankle in front. Opposite arm lifts up, grounding into the sitting bones. Breathe, lengthen to the side of the body, and as you exhale, side bend to the opposite side. Second side. Next inhale brings you back up to center. You can breathe, reach both arms up, and finally exhale once again to the center. Breathing again, noticing the territory of the hips, the connection along the back side of the body, mapping your edges. Maybe there's a visualization still connected to this sort of collective, connected to the greater ecosystem. Imagining these lines of tension as if they're rivers, sides of the body like plains. Whenever you feel ready, you can come back up. We're going to make our way to the hands and knees, so you can come forward. And on hands and knees, you can begin breathing into a cat-cow posture. So with each inhale, extend, lengthen the front side of the body, arch the spine, look upwards, let the tailbone point upwards. As you exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone under, belly button to the spine, back of the heart presses up towards the ceiling. Each inhale elongates the front side of the body, and each exhale elongates the back side of the body. We can begin adding on to this movement. So after your next inhale, arching cow position. As you exhale, round the spine, and you can let the hips melt towards the heels for a child's pose. Inhale will bring you forward once again, all the way with the chest reaching forward towards the cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat, and child's pose. Finding your own rhythm with your breath. And then either staying with this or once again adding on. So after the next time that you're arching the spine, maybe you tuck the toes, and as you round, you lift the hips, lift the knees towards a first very gentle downward facing dog. Next inhale can bring yourself forward, knees to the ground, untuck the toes, once again, child's pose. And beginning to find a rhythm of breath that connects these postures. Maybe you just come forward. Maybe you do arch the spine. But finding some way to move in your own way between these postures that feel good. Between cat-cow, all fours, child's pose, and downward facing dog. The next time you're in downward facing dog or something like downward facing dog, you can stay there for a couple of moments. Maybe meeting the pose in a new way, a little bit deeper, bending one knee, extending opposite heel towards the ground, and then changing sides. Extending both legs. You can take both of your heels to point outwards as the toes point inwards. And see what's happening here in these corners of the hips with the heels turned outwards. Melting the heels perhaps a little bit closer towards the ground. And then you can switch direction with the heels facing inwards and the toes facing outwards. And again, just notice what new territories you meet on the inner sides of the thighs, calves, ankles. And then your feet can return towards parallel, and in your own time, let the feet walk all the way towards the hands. Once you get towards the hands, soften the knees so that you can keep the hands onto the ground, and let the upper body dangle, relax, and release over the legs. You're welcome to let the hands be supported by a pillow, or maybe you want to grab behind the knees. And I think the invitation will be to just let the upper body be as released and as softened here as is possible for you in this moment.
Again, seeing if without any effort you can find this position in your body. Almost like you're releasing the effort of being here, but falling into the space, noticing space come into the spine. Just experiencing the opening as it happens and breathing into spaces that you find. And then slowly, slowly, you can begin to roll yourself all the way up towards a standing posture. Feet can be about hip width distance apart. Hips land over the heels, shoulders over the hips. As you inhale, you can reach the arms up overhead. Maybe the gaze follows. The hands can meet, palms touching. And as you exhale, draw the hands together down into the heart center. Anjali Mudra. You can let the hands pause here in front of the heart for a moment. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You can release the hands down by the side. We can start again. Right arm reaching up, lifting, lengthening the whole right side of the body. And as you exhale, side bend once again. Finding space along the whole left side of the body. Next inhale brings you back up towards center. You can bring left arm up alongside the right, drop the right arm down. And exhale, side bend over towards the right. Going a little deeper with each exhale. And finally, inhale brings you back up to center. And exhale, release the hands down through heart center, hands down by the side. And here we'll do a bit of a shoulder stretch here. So you can take the hands, interlace the fingers behind the sacrum. And then using the muscles between the shoulder blades, see if you can widen the shoulders apart. So I'm not really doing anything with the hands, just widening the shoulders apart. And then from here, you can reach the knuckles towards the ground. So there's expansion across the chest, squeezing between the shoulder blades, and then finally knuckles reaching down towards the ground. You're welcome to close the eyes here, breathing across the space of the chest, sensing it expand. When I picture this expansion, for me it's like a golden field of wheat on like an afternoon, and it's this wide open plain that becomes wider with the breath, and the breath is like a wind that ripples across the wheat of the field. Really with this feeling of the body as a landscape today. Okay. So we're going to keep the hands interlaced just as they are and take a forward fold. You're very welcome to bend the knees and then melt the belly towards the thighs, chest towards the knees. Maybe for you, the hands can lift off the lower back, seeing if you can keep the elbows straight and the base of the palms together. And then let the neck be relaxed, the top of the head be heavy. Finally, you can release the fingers back to your forward fold, relaxed upper body, dangling shoulders, dangling arms, heavy top of the head. Let your next inhale half lift the body as the chest reaches forward, extending the back of the body as much as you extend and reach the front of the body forward. Exhale, fold. Let's do one more like that. So inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. From here, Your hands can find the ground, and you can step the left foot to the back of the mat. Keep your back knee lifted. So you're in a low lunge, back knee is lifted. It's an active posture. And staying with this theme of being with the boundaries of the body, see if you can really sense into the different edges that are alive here. So if you could be fully aware of that back heel, almost like it presses into a wall behind you. And the back of the knee, the back of the calf is sort of pressing up, almost as if there were some outline just at the back of the leg. And the front of the left thigh here, see if you can find the edge there, the sensation. So you're melting the hips downwards. And then letting the upper body be a part of this exploration too, letting the back of the body belong, the front of the body belong. On the next exhale, you can release your back knee to the ground and stay here. So you're releasing the effort of the back leg, the muscular effort of the back leg, and allow there to be a little bit of a deeper melting of the hips down and forward. Connect again to that sensation of the dark space, the dark void that is inside the container of the body. So wherever you might be feeling sensation, take your breath to the edges around that sensation and let the breath fill that empty space inside. Just get a little bit curious here. We'll go towards half split so you can untuck the back toe if it's still tucked under. Let the hips reach towards the back of the room, back of the mat as you extend the front leg. You can flex the toes. Some here might like a support for the hands, maybe hands on the hips. Otherwise, if you can keep the hands on the ground, take a nice long inhale that extends the spine. And with your exhale, extend and reach and stretch the upper body over the lower body. And so many times in these familiar stretches, we kind of find the spaces that we like, the stretch that we like. See if you can avoid a little bit the familiar and comfortable groove, and see if you can find a line that's a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit unfamiliar. If you don't really know what I mean, see if you can kind of turn maybe the foot inwards or outwards, or just shift slightly where's the upper body pointing, and see if you can find the sort of, ooh, that's maybe a little bit uncomfortable. So to make our way out of this posture, I'm going to change. Begin to come forward, planting the right foot back onto the ground. And we're going to shift towards a half squat. So the back leg is going to turn so that the heel is on the ground, and you'll sit with the right side of the body in a squat. The left leg is extended long. If you need support here, you can sit on a pillow or a block or something. You can also keep the hands on the ground. We're just here for a few breaths. And if this is really kind of like a new place for the body, you're also welcome to keep the hips lifted and just see what is it like to kind of let the hips begin to explore down towards this space. Anywhere you are is totally fine. I just want this to be a little bit of like a curious way to map the body. And if you're very comfortable down here, you could maybe bring the hands into your heart center. And to maybe activate a little bit more through the back side of the body, you could also extend the arms up overhead. And then finally, wherever you are, hands can come back to the ground, and you can turn the hips and legs, everything back towards the front. Your back knee can drop back down towards the ground. You can take the right hand onto the right knee. Left hand stays onto the ground. You can use the right hand pressing into the knee to begin to turn your chest open to the right side. Your lower body is in a familiar pose. We've just been here a few moments ago in this low lunge. So see if you can soften back into familiarity here. Soften the hips, soften the heart. You're very welcome to stay here. Maybe the right arm extends up towards the ceiling. Meeting again that boundary of the back body, that familiar space between the shoulder blades where you've been squeezing together to open across the chest. See if you can do that here, even squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other. Open the chest. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you go for a quad stretch. So that might mean lifting up the back foot from the ground, reaching back towards maybe the heel, maybe the ankle, grabbing a hold of the foot, and even if you don't make the connection, you can just sort of make that reach of intention of trying to find last breath in. Sensing this connection all the way from the left knee, across the left hip, across the chest. Interconnectedness of the whole body, your earth body. And exhale, release hands to the ground, foot to the ground. We're going to move towards a plank here. So you can lift the back knee up, step the right foot towards the back of the mat. Take one breath in here, lengthening the front side of the body, lengthening the back side of the body. And with an exhale, bend the elbows, squeeze in towards the center line, lower all the way to the ground. You're welcome to drop the knees as you come down to the ground. Point the toes back. Extend your tailbone back towards the heels. Lengthen the back of the neck. And with an inhale, lift the chest off the ground. Widen across the front of the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower to the ground, and you can shift the hips back towards the heels for a child's pose. Taking a moment or two here to just let the body integrate all of this movement on one side of the body. Next time you're breathing in, you can rock yourself forward, two hands and knees, tuck the toes under, shift the hips towards the ceiling for downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, hands can walk all the way back towards the hands. You may not be at the top of your mat, so you can walk yourself all the way to the top of the mat. Let an inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Next breath, you can rise all the way up to standing. Arms can reach up overhead. And exhale, dive forward all the way back down to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time as you exhale, hands to the ground, step the right foot towards the back of the mat. So we find ourselves on the second side, low lunge. Almost as if you could find that same release and surrender that you found in the beginning lying on the back of the mat. Can you give into the support of the hands and the feet here, while at the same time staying engaged as you press the heel towards the back, lift the back knee up, and melt the hips down and forward. Release any tension that might be trying to express itself through the shoulders or through the face or through the eyebrows. Slowly, slowly with the next exhale, release the back knee to the ground. Maybe from here, already you untuck the toes, let the hips be a little heavier, let the shoulders be a little bit softer. Let the breath be a little bit more free. Mapping
tapping the edge of the front side of this hip as it may be different from the other side of the hip, the left side of the body. And we'll transition to half split here, Ardha Hanumanasana, or the runner stretch. Hips move back towards the heel. Left leg extends. You can flex again the toes, flex the foot. Take a lengthening inhale and a softening exhale. And again, allow yourself to be curious here about different edges, lines of resistance you can find in the body. Seeing if you can get curious about some unexplored spaces. And then we'll make our way forwards once again, rocking the weight onto the left foot, transitioning towards half squat on the second side. So you're turning your hips towards the right side, left heel stays on the ground, right heel turns towards the ground so that the toes can face upwards, finding yourself in half squat on the left side. Again, finding support with the hands on the ground if you need it, maybe supporting with a pillow underneath sitting bones, maybe finding your balance with the hands and heart center. Maybe even staying lifted. I didn't mention it on the other side, but it might be that the calf and the heel is what's not able to relax you down to the ground. You could fold up a blanket or also place a pillow to help support you. Just here for another moment or so. You can begin to let the hands come back to the ground. If they're not there already, turn the hips towards the front, all toes face the front. We're going to prepare for the twist on the second side. So keeping your right hand grounded onto the mat, left hand comes to the left knee. I think the back knee is grounded here. So with the left hand pressing into the left knee, allow your back to be soft and relaxed. You could even lean a little bit more towards the back space. Let the neck be soft. Begin to twist a little bit deeper towards the left side, almost as if through the peripheral vision of the left eye. You could almost begin to see the back foot. And maybe you stay just here, just as you are, or maybe your left arm is extending upwards. And there's different ways to approach being here. There's something effortful. You can, of course, connect to the back side of the body and feel a lot of squeezing, opening across the chest. Or you can also see if you can allow that same sensation of opening across the chest in a way that's not so effortful, but a way that is almost like falling open, almost as if you could just lean towards the back. Opening, extending the front side of the body. Maybe staying here, or if you did so on the first side, taking it a little bit deeper towards the quad stretch, lifting up the back foot, maybe reaching your hand back towards that foot, and maybe just staying here, feeling that sensation opening across the left shoulder, across the chest. Might be very different on your two sides. Maybe you can make contact with the foot, with the ankle. I don't know if you can see, but my left knee is coming quite out to the side. I'm not trying to keep this very strong line, but instead allowing the hips to open. There's not a lot of rules here. Just another moment or two. Breathing all the way into the knees, into the feet. And release with your exhale, hands come back to the ground. Lift the back knee up, step again to your plank. Inhale, lengthen the front side of the body. Chest reaches forward between the shoulders. Exhale, then the elbows lower all the way down to the ground.
Maybe here, going for a more full upward facing dog, pointing the toes back, sending the tailbone back towards the heels, and as you inhale, squeezing the shoulder blades together, reaching the chest forward. Keep extending, tailbone down towards the heels. Let an exhale lower you to the ground. You can tuck the toes and again move towards child's pose. Hips move towards the heels, forehead to the back. You can turn the palms up towards the ceiling to relax the shoulders and connect back towards the sensation of surrender, of allowing a release, melting into the support of the ground and that beneath you. So when you feel ready, you can come back towards the hands and the knees. We're going to make our way to standing, so you could again find downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the knees and the hips, and then walking your feet towards the hands. Doesn't matter if you're at the top of the mat or not, you can roll yourself up towards standing. And we're getting towards the last bit of standing work we're going to do in this class. You can take the feet slightly wider than hip width distance. We're just going to do a bit of somatic release. So we can start with some sort of like qigong spinal opening. So you can start with the left hand. We're just going to swing it across the body, almost like the hand's going to come across towards the right shoulder, and your heel is lifting off the ground. And then with momentum, we swing to the second side, and it's just like this. See if you can let the arms be as heavy as you do this, swinging. Don't think so much about how the position of the legs is, just let the swinging carry that leg, and the heel is lifting so that you can find that range of motion. And let this rotation move all the way to the base of the spine. And slowly, slowly, we let this go. And the last thing we're going to do is just find a bit of a shake. So see that the knees become nice and soft. And find a little bit of a shake that can ripple up through the body. So letting your hips pass like an earthquake, this movement up towards the shoulders. Let that ripple down through the elbows, through the wrists, the joints of the fingers. Maybe at some point the shape becomes a little bit bigger. Maybe it becomes a little bit faster. Maybe it's a little bit more with the heels coming off the ground, so you can feel it more in the hips. You can hear how the shaking affects my lungs. Letting this vibrate through the body. Releasing perhaps through the face, the lips. Breath can come out through the lips. And then if the legs are feeling like they need a little bit more, you can maybe pick up a leg, shake a little bit all the way down to the ankles, shake wrists, fingers, second side, shaking, shaking, shaking. And then letting that go. You can take a moment to just close the eyes and stand in stillness and feel the echo of this movement in the body. Like a lake where someone has just jumped in and stirred up the bottom of the water. Feel as things begin to settle. Slowly coming back to here, opening the eyes. We're going to take the legs quite wide now. Straddle pose. To lengthen all the sides of the body, let's use the inhale to reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, you can take the hands to the hips, but see if you can sort of keep that feeling of liftedness across the chest, the back, sides of the body. As you exhale, keep this length as you hinge at the hips and fold down. At some point, you can release your hands towards the ground. Again, let the spine be long, top of the head be heavy, the neck is relaxed. The invitation here is going to be to take this into a side stretch. So you can begin walking your hands towards the left leg. Maybe your hands, they just rest in front of the left foot. Or maybe your right arm is grabbing onto the left ankle. And allow yourself to see if you can feel that line of stretch across the body, noticing as if you were mapping a water body, mapping a river. Where does it begin? Where does it end? Where are all the different connections and points that feed in? And then slowly, slowly let the upper body swing towards the second side. Hands walk over in front of the right foot. And again, maybe just resting the hands in front of the foot, or maybe grabbing on somewhere to the leg. Noticing what connections are here that you didn't feel on the first side. All of these sensations, all of these connections alive inside of you, everything at once. You can walk your hands back underneath the chest. Squeeze your legs in towards each other so you have a nice strong foundation through the legs. You can take your hands to your hips, and as you inhale, rise back up towards your standing posture. Okay. Take a step towards the front of your mat, wherever that is. Let your inhale reach your arms up overhead. Squeeze your legs in towards the center and breathe and lift the heels off the ground. And either staying here with the arms lifted alongside the ears, or maybe the hands reach in front of the body. Keep the heels lifted, and as you exhale, lower the hips down towards the heels. Squeezing legs in towards each other. Stay here for a moment in this tippy toe squat. We're going to breathe and lift all the way back up. Keep the heels lifted, rising, squeezing in towards the center. And exhale, lower, down, once again, hips towards the heels. And then seeing if maybe you can lower the hips down to the ground. With control, you can also use the hands to help you. Sitting bones come to the ground. From here, you can hold behind the knees and use Solstice to assist you to come down to the back. Just as we started, with the feet on the ground, knees up towards the ceiling. You can walk the feet towards the glutes so that you can just touch your heels with the tips of the fingers. Roll the shoulder blades underneath the back. And then begin by tucking the tailbone under, almost like you just want to lift the sitting bones off the ground. And then from here, let the hips guide as you peel the spine off the back, all the way towards this bridge posture. And then we reverse the motion, laying the spine down towards the ground, middle back, lower back, the back of the pelvis. We'll do that a few more times, curling, letting the hips guide the motion as you slowly peel off the lower back, the middle back, and then the upper back. Exhale, reversing the motion. And last time like this, rounding, lifting up the hips, middle back, lower back, upper back. And then from here, hold in a lifted position. Soften your shoulders, soften the neck, soften your face. And allow the front of the body and the back of the body to become equally as long. Release any tension you might be feeling. And the next time that you're exhaling, slowly lower back down towards the ground. Invitation here to go into one more bridge posture. We'll hold once again for about 5 breaths. So when you're ready, same entry as before, curling the hips, the lower back, middle back, and the upper back off the ground. Maybe you stay here, or maybe the fingers interlace. The hands come together and you roll your shoulder blades under the back once again to open a little bit more across the chest, and then keep lifting the hips. Maybe you connect to that same sensation of opening across the chest as we did in our first folds, as you find in the twist. Slowly you can release the hands and lower the hips down to the ground. Okay. The next posture we'll do, which is our second to last posture, is a hip stretch. So 2 options here. One will either be pigeon pose, or the other is, supine pigeon pose. So from your back, if you would like to be in the supine posture, you can start by taking the right leg and crossing the foot across the knee. So we're working with the right hip, and you'll grab onto the back of the left thigh and draw the legs in towards the body. For those working with the pigeon, the traditional pigeon, you can come on to the hands and knees, transition towards downward facing dog, extend with an inhale the right leg up, and then draw the right knee in towards the chest, laying the shin onto the ground. Right foot is flexed. And then lower the upper body down towards the shin, towards the right leg, maybe coming onto the forearms, or maybe lowering the chest and the forehead down towards some hands stacked on top of each other, or maybe a pillow. So whichever variation you are, we're here for about another 10 breaths or so. Beginning to slow things down. Drop back into
stillness, taking the focus inward once again, deep into some corners of the body that are maybe a little bit less explored. We're not so much shining a light on them as we are melting ourselves deeper into that darkness. Dropping deeper into that space, closer to the sensations, softening the edges. Noticing if it's easy or difficult to be with this sensation of stillness here, this depth that you're reaching. Notice if the mind wanders. Especially if you're on the back, you have a little bit more control of the amount of sensation that you feel. So noticing maybe also if you're going a little bit, we can be a little bit gentle, and sometimes this lack of sensation can take us away somewhere. So see if you can find that point where you just finding that amount of sensation that can keep you here with the body. And from here, we're going to make our way towards the second side. So if you're in the pigeon on the back, you can release your legs down, release both feet to the ground, and maybe just take a moment to shift the knees a little bit side to side to release the knee joints, the hip joints, and the lower back. From pigeon on the ground, taking a moment to just give a little circle for the hip. To release the right leg back, and then we'll come to the second side. So from downward facing dog, if you're there, inhale to lift the left leg up, exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, and coming down into the shin. Setting up for the second side, and then finding your way to the second side if you're in the supine pigeon. Left foot, left ankle is coming across the right knee. You're grabbing behind the right thigh. Spine is relaxed as you draw the right knee in towards the chest. Allowing your breath to become deeper as you settle into this posture. Letting the breath expand to the edges of your container. Inviting breath not only into the hips, but into all the joints, into the shoulders, the elbows, the jaw, down to the wrists and the ankles, out to the toes and the fingers. And letting the next couple of breaths soften even the effort that's required to be here. Dropping deeper, deeper into the allowing. Softening into that sense of being in a flow, being carried by some soft current. last few breaths in this posture. And then slowly make your way out of this posture. We'll all meet on the back side of the body. So from the supine pigeon, you can once again release the feet onto the ground and let the knees fall side to side. From pigeon on the front side of the body, give a little circle to your hips one last time. And then find your favorite way down onto the back. You can just drop the knees. Maybe roll down onto the back side of the body. On the back, you can bring both of your knees into your chest. Once again, give them a hug. And from here, we'll move towards supine twist. You can extend your left leg long, but keep the right knee in towards the chest. Relax the head, relax the shoulders, relax the back of the neck. And then keeping the knee connected with the left hand, you can extend your right arm out to the side. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, draw the right knee across the body. I recommend you close the eyes and allow your face to continue to be turned up towards the ceiling. Mapping the fields across the chest, across the right side of the body. Breathing into the connections that make themselves felt, alive, known through the sensations of the neck and the shoulders. Filling down to the belly, to the low back with your breath. Unwind the twist of this first side. You can take both knees into the chest one last time, or maybe second last time. And for the second side, we extend the right leg down. Left leg is hugged in towards the chest. Knee hugs in, maybe rocking a little bit side to side. And then with the right hand connected to the left knee, extend the left arm out to the side. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, draw the knee across the chest, across the body. Allow your chest and the left side of the body to just receive this twist. You don't need to get to a specific place where the knee is reaching all the way and touching the ground. Staying in that things, limbs melting towards the center of gravity, the center of the earth. Let the next inhale send its way to the back side of the body, expanding, opening back side of the body. Exhale softens you towards that new space, that new awareness. One last inhale. Last exhale. And you can bring your knee back across the body, coming back towards center. Now this time, the last time that you draw both knees in towards the chest and give them a hug. Last little squeeze.
We're going to go towards Savasana here, our final pose of relaxation. So maybe here you just give one last squeeze, lifting even the head, the forehead up towards the knees, squeezing, squeezing in towards center, squeezing the toes, squeezing the face. And as you exhale, soften, release everything down towards the mat. Maybe you're in a cold room like me and you want to take on some socks or a sweater or a blanket. Taking whatever you need. And when you feel ready, lying on the back if you're not there already. Extending the arms alongside the body. You can let there be some space between the body and the hands, palms facing upwards. And you can let the legs be slightly apart, maybe a little bit wider than hip width distance. Toes falling out to the side. Send the breath all the way down to the feet. With your exhale, soften even the bottom of the feet. Relaxing the heels, relaxing the ankles, so that your entire feet are completely relaxed. Relaxing the calves, relaxing your knees, relaxing the thighs, relaxing the hips into the hip flexors, so that your entire legs are completely relaxed. You're relaxing your pelvis, your sacrum, relaxing your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and the back of your shoulders, so that your entire back is completely relaxed. Relaxing your lower belly, your rib cage, and your chest. Relaxing the front of the shoulders. Relaxing the upper arms, the elbows. Relaxing your lower arms and your wrists. And relaxing your hands and your fingers, so that your entire upper body is completely relaxed. You're relaxing the front of your throat, the sides of your neck, and the back of your neck. You're relaxing your jaw, your lips, relaxing your cheeks, the muscles around your eyes, relaxing your eyebrows, your forehead. You're relaxing your ears, and finally relaxing the top of your head, so that your entire neck and head are completely relaxed. Your entire body is completely relaxed. Letting the edges of you soften once again. Let the darkness fill your container.
void ready to be filled with any and all possibility. A container big enough to hold your whole heart and everyone you love. Big enough to hold the whole world. I invite you to lay here in your final resting posture for as long as you need. And I send you a lot of love going into these next couple of weeks of holiday, of celebration, perhaps time with family, and the transition into the new year. May you feel love, may you feel belonging, may you feel peace. Namaste.